I think one of kind of the resounding messages I hear from CEOs right now is, hey, we've got our just normal business operations that we've got to worry about, make sure our business is strong. And then you layer in the virus stuff, and there's kind of this health crisis. So I want to make sure that my team's healthy, their families are healthy, et cetera. But that health crisis, the response globally is now creating this economic crisis, right? Where you see the macroeconomy kind of slowing down. Maybe just share your thoughts on what you're seeing from the macroeconomy. Are you worried about anything there, and kind of how you're thinking through more of kind of the response to the virus, more so than just the virus itself?
Sure. I think there's so that's a pretty, so there's a lot of aspects to it. I think for the Binance team, I've asked the Binance team to work from home way early. Like, so when this thing's kind of brewing in China, I just told everyone, so look, just work from home. So I think that was like end of January, early February. I just said, look, just work from home. And I also asked and our team's pretty used to it. Our teams, like, they sometimes congregate in a coffee shop or stuff like that when they're in the same city. But I just said, let's just be more careful about it. And we also make sure our internal employee or the team members, what we call, we don't really use the word employees that much. So I also make sure that we have supplies that we secured through various channels, and we make sure most of our team members do have good supplies. Even our members right now in Europe, we have shipped their parents supplies like masks where they couldn't get them right now. So we took a lot of precaution to ensure safety of our employees, and we all encourage them to work from home. Just don't go out that often. And they typically work from home anyway, so they're very used to it. At a higher level, at a bigger scale, in different countries in the world, I think this thing's gonna last multiple months. I think it's gonna last. I think coming summer, this virus may subside, but I think we got to be very careful. If you look at past pandemics, there's very often a second wave come autumn, and I think right now we're witnessing this is like a leadership test for a lot of countries, right? So countries who are well organized, even like if you look at China, even though it happened earlier there, but they actually had I think the numbers may be too low. The numbers may or may not be accurate, but the situation is they do have it under control. Most guys are returning to normal. The work is returning to normal. Other countries are still fighting it, and other countries are still losing the battle with it. To be honest, like especially like America, I think the numbers says the results are there. So I think we're still at the ramp up stage where we haven't seen the plateau. So that's very worrying, and I think that will definitely have an economic effect. I think back in February, March, people in some countries, or including the United States, some people are saying, oh no, this thing just happening, impacting China, nothing's going to impact the US. I think we live in one global economy. There's no escape. So I think we're seeing that playing out. I think it's going to be multiple months. It's going to have very severe impact on the economy, on jobs, etc. So I think we've got to prepare this for the long run. And afterwards, I also think even like after a few months, after this passes, we're going to see a new economy. So things are going to be different. People will be, the social norms are going to be different. I don't know how different it will be, but I think in the back of people's heads, people will, I think even come autumn or the next winter, people will be very cautious about this thing. It depends on whether we discover a vaccine or not. So all of those things play a factor, but most countries are banning travel. I think travel's gone for the next, I don't know, half a year or so. To a large extent. So travel within the country may be allowed, but I think people are very cautious about it, even today. So there's a lot of restaurants are being hit really hard. Movies, theaters are being hit really hard. So I think a lot of businesses will change. But also in this turbulent environment, there's a lot more opportunities, right? So when one business, unfortunately, when one business goes down, other businesses thrive. So I think online businesses will do well. International business, the virtual aspect of the cryptocurrencies actually helps a lot. I think cryptocurrency is going to see a fairly strong boost, to be honest, combined with like quantitative easing, depression. Like the countries have no other option but to print a lot of money right now, and that's gonna those money right now it's not free flowing into the economy, but once they start flowing, cost of goods, most prices are going to go up very dramatically. And I think cryptocurrency will go up much more, like unproportionally higher. So so I think all of those things are going to happen. And I think people in the crypto industry are generally in a very good spot. So I think we just got to, I think we want to work really hard. I think it's especially important to work really hard during this economic turbulent times, because there are new opportunities, and the guys who can grab these new opportunities there's much more new opportunities right now than there were before. I also think most likely more banks and more financial institutions are going to look at cryptocurrency. They're more willing to work with cryptocurrency exchanges, payment services, etc. So I think there's a lot of opportunity. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough, but when the going gets tough, the tough gets going.